Welcome to episode 94 of the Awkward Watersport Guys podcast. And today's show, we're going to kind of rehash a presentation that was nixed at our Watersport forum because of the hurricane. We had to leave early. So I want to introduce our guest here. We have Rachel Dickey, VP, she has a new title now, Chief Strategy Officer of TripShock. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we also have founder and CEO of the AAMP Agency, Steve Edwards. Steve, welcome.
I like how you like the founder. I don't know. It sounded funny. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
I was really hoping for you to tell us how excited.
I'm beyond excited. This is the most excited I've been all week. Thank God I'm here.
Honored, humbled.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when he's done here, he's going to go shoot a 50 caliber and his ears will be protected.
Yep, 100%.
And always we have my esteemed co-host, Kevin O'Neill. Kevin, what's up?
I mean,
what
is
up?
he esteemed?
As he shoot, I don't know. I just
what does esteemed mean?
I don't
Steve
know.
for 100. We just did that. We did the Tourpreneur guys, and they had more fucking 5-syllable words than this fucking moron can handle. I was like, "What? I'm like, can you slow down what you're talking?"
I bet they did.
Because I don't know what those words mean, but I'm going to take it as disrespect.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So
I don't know if you guys know this, but I got a tank top that says America on it.
So before we get started, I want to give an opportunity. So Rachel and Steve have been on the show before, but for people that are new, Rachel, take a minute just to tell a little bit about yourself and how you got into water sports.
Oh, gosh. I think originally my first job in the water sports industry was at a surf shop in Newport Beach, California when I was 18. And it's just kind of, been a part of my life since. And then I joined TripShock, obviously, and it became kind of an extended family, the water sports community. So
was there nothing but Point Break references in that surf shop during that time? What are you going to surf to Fiji, Brody?
I think I went to the premiere of Endless Summer 2 when I worked there, which gives you a timeline. I may have given myself away there on that date, but
no, I'm older than that. I don't even remember Endless Summer 2. I remember Endless Summer 1.
That's because you're so old. Your memory's failing.
That's fucking accurate. It's true.
Yeah.
Steve, how did I get here? I don't know. I owned a marketing agency for way too goddamn long already. Have marketed everything under the sun, from personal injury attorneys to chiropractors to restaurants, and ended up with a couple tourism clients 4 or 5 years ago, and ended up loving it. And now I've dug into it, all the way. Not only do I run an agency, but I got a couple tour operations of myself, Jeep rentals and slingshot rentals and all sorts of fun things. And I get to hang out with Kevin all the time. So there's like an added perk some days.
I don't know.
It's so funny, dude. I remember that, like, Greg, we did this like podcast during the pandemic with Paul from Hydro Flight America or whatever it was in California. And then you were like, yeah, man, like, I don't know, some guy named Steven emailed me like basically like saying that guy was wrong about marketing. I was like, oh God. I'm like, let me guess, he's a marketer, right? Yeah. Him and every other marketer is tied for first. Now every month I write him a check. Every month I'm like, yeah, he sucks.
Where's that Hydroflight guy at? Where did he go?
Paul,
is that what his name was? I forget his name,
man. He's got Bulka Media,
Bulka
man.
Media.
He's doing like the Gary V thing. I don't know. Those are the early days of the Awkward Watersports Guys. We didn't really have like a ton of people waiting for us. Like we didn't have a lot of people in the queue like we do now. Like we're on our 7th episode with Steve and Rachel. Damn it, we're running out of people. Pretty soon we're gonna fucking bring Ilya in. It'll just be the sound of me smacking him. Shut up! That's on the show.
This is ridiculous.
Anyway, so so like Ian. So the whole thing is, guys, like I know you think like we do we do all this stuff for fun, but at the end of every month, this pesky fucking bill comes for my mortgage. And I'm like, man, I love to pay my bills. And every once in a while, we do things to make money. And so like we orchestrated this entire podcast. We've been spending 2 years, hundreds of hours, Greg, probably thousands of hours editing, building conferences, all so we could finally get you into our sweet, sweet B2B funnel ideas. And we were going to announce those at the fucking conference. We had all of you fuckers roped in, ready to sign checks. And then Ian came and fucked everything up. Thanks a lot, Hurricane Ian. No. Yeah, so we had a couple things we were going to talk about that we were doing. And so, we did this special episode with Steve and Rach to, do you hate when people call you Rach? Is that terrible? Is that like,
it's
like
a
friend
I mean,
thing?
I don't think her.
That's all right.
Sometimes it's endearing, and then sometimes it really annoys me. It kind of depends
When I
on
do it, it's endearing.
You could never annoy me, Kevin.
What? Yeah, so we want to take an opportunity to tell you guys about some stuff like we're doing. Obviously, I'm not trying to rent you guys fucking pontoon boats or water floaties or anything. And, we don't really talk about wave res or even TripShock a whole lot other than in the casual conversation. And so, we just want to take an opportunity to let you guys know some things that we got in the works and, fucking pitch you, as they say. So, I don't know. You want us to lead, Greg? We'll start. You guys probably have more expansive because Steve and I we're just doing a small thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead.
So it should make this probably comes to no surprise to anyone, just given like what Steve and I do. We are still starting our own OnlyFans page, and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be really good, too. Mostly feet pics.
I knew it.
So being in the water sports space and working with a lot of boat operators, the one thing that we saw that was like the broken piece of their model was how they, because everybody in Florida requires to go rent a boat, to go take out a jet ski, you got to get a boat license. And Florida has two options. You can either get your lifetime license or you can get your temporary license. And a lot of the operators were, shelling out, doing these, not shelling out, that's the wrong term, but they were, offering out these temporary license through a couple providers that are in, US and Canada. And they just weren't making any money at it. It was insane that they were handing off their customer to somebody that was not in market. They were offering an overcomplicated test for a temporary certificate for them to go operate this boat. And there was really no automation behind it. There was no like tying into their booking flow to make it a smoother transition. It was, here is this link, go to this link. Hopefully one day you'll complete the test, screenshot the test when you're done and bring it back, and then we'll be good to go. And that just seemed, because I'm kind of an automation guy. I like it when stuff just automatically triggers and happens. And seeing this, it was like, wow, this is like something that could be done by us. And then there was a little bit of a push by the FWC to start requiring all of these tests to happen online. So, what is it? Innovation. There's a fun term for this, right? Where like the idea was right in front of us. It was easy to put together. And with some programming and some development work, we've put together a pretty awesome Florida boat testing platform so that boat rental operators, jet ski rental operators throughout the Florida market for now can offer the boat test, offer the temporary license, and make some money in doing so.
Hey everyone, we're going to take a quick break and talk about our sponsors for the month, AAMP Agency. AAMP is a full-service digital marketing agency that specializes in tour, rental, and destination marketing.
We would not have sponsors on the show if we could not vouch for them ourselves. AAMP Agency does a bunch of stuff for Destiny Water Adventures personally. I 100% vouch for this guy. I've handed them over to other companies in the past before they officially became a sponsor, and they have had nothing but great things to say. If you guys are doing your own marketing and doing a piss poor job of it, do yourselves a favor. hand yourselves over to AAMP Agency, specifically Steve Edwards, their CEO, will call you personally and have a great conversation with you about what you guys need to do for your marketing.
Listen, guys, they do pretty much everything in digital marketing: website development, maintenance, Google AdWords, PPC, graphic design, social media management, SEO, and a myriad of other things. When you choose a marketing company, it's so important to choose a company that knows your industry. And AAMP Agency knows activity marketing, especially water sports and tours. They got a promo going for Awkward Watersport Guy listeners for their managed websites. Use promo code Awkward Podcast when you go to amp.agency. Again, that's amp.agency, promo code Awkward Podcast. You get 3 months free and get started with AAMP Agency. All right, guys, let's get back to the show.
Yeah, I mean, all joking aside, it is like if you've listened to one episode or one half of an episode, it's no secret that I'm about safety. I'm about education. You can go through the history of this show, and if we are talking specifically about boating education and safety, I am probably one of the most strictest proponents of it. My products that I do at our physical location lose money because I put safety above all else. It's a huge part of Destiny Water Adventures culture. It's a huge part of my history as a captain and as a mariner and as a maritime professional. So this makes infinite sense that we are putting together a product for the market that educates specific to your market and the state of Florida, an educational course that is pertinent to rentals, because there's nothing on the market right now that is run and that is more understood by operators. Like, we get that when you take a test or you get educated on site versus online, there are specific things to your region, to our state, to you as a livery professional that only other livery professionals get. Like, we get this. I'm not sitting in an office somewhere. I'm not sitting, looking at something else going like, no, I know what the struggles are every single day of sending out jet skis, sending out boats on waterways that the renter definitely unfamiliar with, doesn't quite understand. And we want to translate that into an educational product that makes sense for operators. To Steve's point, I had a link on my site forever, and it was like, I didn't have an affiliate. Like, I assumed that they put the link on the site and that the money was getting, deposited into our accounts, and they weren't. Like, I was like, wait a minute, where's our boat test money? Like, we're supposed to be getting a buck a test. And I know how many thousands of dollars are being left on the table by operators because they're not properly linked up to their boater safety education platform. So again, it is a hard pitch. It is a hard sell, I'm telling you guys right now, but I'm only hard selling because I know the current products that are in the market I'm not going to call them broken because we use them, but they're not optimized. And the reason they're not optimized is because they're not operators. We're operators. This wasn't written by operators. This wasn't somebody like, oh yeah, like I know a guy I contract. No. We are operators. I'm not just a captain. I do this every single day. Steve's a marketer. Steve's a digital guy. Marketer. Dirty, disgusting marketer. It's a horrible human being. Don't listen to anything. But at the end of the day, this makes sense. Together, we understand your needs probably more than anybody else out there in the industry providing something. And I would be hard pressed to find anybody. Should they pop up out and say, "Hey, man, I'm an operator too," I'll be like, "Oh, how many podcast episodes do you have?"
Yeah.
So
that's weird.
I have some questions for you guys. So you said only in Florida right now, correct?
That's correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is proprietary about your service compared to the others?
Kevin. Kevin is the proprietary portion of the company. No, I mean, there isn't. So the reality is that there's nothing like top secret or revolutionary about taking a boat test. We have to run the boat test through the FWC. We have certain questions that we're required to ask, or so that they can get their licensing. But what we've done is, because of the nature of the business that we're in, because I only do marketing for tour operators, because we're so deep ingrained in this space. I mean, it's amazing to me how many of my current clients literally have the boat test just pasted somewhere on their website and go click this link and go take the boat test. It's not integrated into their booking platforms. They haven't integrated it into their emails that are going out to their customers to make this a much smoother transition and ensure that the customer, the customer's making a purchase with you, they're completing their boat test. And in order to do it, it may not even sound like a lot, but if each one of these customers is paying $10 to $15 and you're making, and you're not getting paid a fraction of that, how much money are you leaving on the table when you look at a lot of these, a good jet ski operator's renting out 50 jet skis a day, more than that, it's just good added revenue to the bottom line.
Yeah.
So I want to follow that up. And, I don't like being the guy that doesn't have something completed and saying this, like, this is what we have. That's proprietary, but there will be proprietary course material for the Florida Boater Safety Test, for the TC itself, for the temporary certificate. I will be rewriting and putting together the course material and content that is specific, that there are problems that we see every single day, right? So when you look at some of the educational material, some of it's like, oh, hey, what are you doing in a water? What do you do in this situation when you have a water skier on the back of the boat? Okay, well, I don't have a water skier. Like, you as a customer can never take a water skier on our boats. So I know from my personal insurance, we don't cover towables. So that stuff by the state of Florida has to be in the course material. But again, we can highlight some of that stuff in that material that's more specific to the renters. Like, talk if you're doing boats, we have to talk a little bit more about bow riding, about BUIs, about very specific things that happen on boat rentals. If we're talking about jet ski rentals, we have to talk about situational awareness, how to properly roll over a jet ski, to highlight some of the most important things. So if I know that people can get sucked up into the back of get their hand sucked up in the back of a jet ski, we want to talk a little bit more about loose fitting clothing. If I know that people are going to, again, bow riding is a serious problem, and we're not highlighting enough. We're not talking about it enough in the TC. We're not talking about why it's so important, why BUIs are on the rise. So right now we're still in beta on this. So we still have to make some, this is like our, 12-month plan. But to answer your question, there will be proprietary course material as it relates to liveries in the state of Florida.
Got it. So I'm a livery with 100 rental, pieces, some boats, some skis. Have you guys kind of drawn some sample numbers of how much my operation could generate from, the rev share?
Yeah, absolutely. So to that side of things, again, and I'm not like trying to be like Mr. Altruistic Kevin, like, education is like the biggest piece of this for us. Like, just stating that from the first and foremost, I want to make sure that accidents are being decreased and the people are being educated before they ever set foot on a piece of equipment. That is first and foremost the most important thing. Like, I can help you save money by creating a course that makes sure people understand first and foremost, hey, we're not going to get run over by a prop. We're not going to run the boat aground. We're not going to suck a bunch of crap up into the jet ski because the jet ski sucks beyond, it doesn't want to be in deeper than 2 feet of water. All these things. So I just want to make it clear that, yes, we definitely would like to make some money off this and see the operators make some money off this. Education first. To your question, As far as the rev share model goes, that's going to change. And so a lot of operators don't know that the FWC has been working on the TC is going to be applicable to every single operator in the state of Florida. As it sits currently, January 1st, 1988. And then they are going to phase in a new by 15 years over a 5-year period. So it'll go down to 73, and then it'll go down to 58, and then 1943. You basically have to be like 117 years old to rent a jet ski without taking the test, and then everybody. So what you have to do is you got to look at the amount of the numbers that you're doing. So if you're doing, 5,000, 4,000, 2,000, even 1,000 tests or rentals or bookings a year, you might be doing 25%, depending. It might be more. So if you're doing jet skis, that number is going to be higher. If you're doing pontoon boats, for us, is we sit right around 25-30% of every single booking. And we do, X amount of bookings. I'm not going to divulge all my numbers here. But again, if I get a check at the end of the year for $4,000, let's say, or $5,000 or $1,000, that is going to, at the very minimum, probably quadruple, because eventually every single person, when the FWC starts putting this into play, everyone's going to have to take that test. So you could be potentially looking at just a start of, anywhere from 15,000, 20,000 a year. And that's just, look, man, that is bottom line revenue. That is not, you don't have to do anything for that. And it should just be showing up in your bank, not in a paper check, or not at all if you're putting a link, to the Florida boater safety test. And that happens. I'm not naming names. I'm not saying who's done it, but we felt it happened for us. I put the link and I didn't realize that there needed to be an affiliate link there. And that's going to be some real money in the next call. And even now it's real money. If you can get a check for $5,000 in your bank account, I mean, look, if you don't need it, by all means, I'll put my affiliate link for the companies that I'm currently using on your site. If you don't want it, man, I got no problem with that. So yeah, it'll be a significant amount of money for sure for the operator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want your customers to be educated, and we want you to make money. And I haven't been planning this for the last 2 years. You know what I mean? This hasn't been the longest, opt-in funnel of all time that I've just been slowly reining you in. That's what I want for everybody. It's no secret. I've got a couple different businesses with a couple different business partners. At the end of the day, I want everybody to have a good time and everybody to eat. And that's what we want for you guys. And our site is takemyboattest.com. We're still in beta with the FWC and NASBL right now, getting all of our I's and T's crossed and dotted. And we should be live here probably in the next, I would imagine, by the end of next month.
That seems realistic.
You'll know, trust me. Every single episode now that I got really something, just hammer in on. I'm like, takemyboattest.com. No, I will be coming if you listen to this podcast. I'm going. You guys know if you're a frequent listener, I've been pounding the door about sales. So it's going down, man. I'm doing a fucking tour, dude. I am coming to your location. I'm going to have the takemyboattest.com tattooed like a barbed wire, around my arm. And we're going to go get some barbecued ribs, man. We're going to talk boater safety education checks, and we're going to get you guys signed up for the coolest boat test temporary certificate money can buy, baby.
I look forward to all the stuff that you guys do in the automation side of things, because the other boaters tests really haven't got into that yet. And I think there's just a lot of opportunity, especially with reservation system integrations where, they can easily send it. They put it into a workflow because they might not get the initial email, but you got to follow up, maybe 2-3 times. Hey, have you taken your boaters test? So I know with Steve, and all his experience, that's going to be, that's probably one of the proprietary things I feel like you guys are going to have. It's going to be somewhat different, having a marketing company, be part of this and all the additional things. So I'm really looking forward to, all the things that you guys have. And I know TripShock and WaveRes, we're going to hopefully be working with you guys in some capacity and sharing it, but we're look forward to it. I think this is a great time to launch a business like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise. I am really excited about it. I'm like, at the end of the day, man, I love the relationships we've cultivated on the show, the networking, all this stuff. No secret if I go to if I'm at a conference and you're just going to catch me in the networking lounge. That's what I'm really there to do is just, I love the community. So I think there's a few things that we'll be able to do down the line that we're excited about and that we've been brainstorming about, and things that we want a better experience for operators out there from the operation side, from the digital marketing side. I don't work for AAMP Agency. I get asked that quite a bit. Like, Steve's not sending me any. I mean, unless Ilya's fucking collecting them bitches, like, I'm not getting any checks.
I'm not sending Ilya any checks.
So that we're not affiliates. It's like Steve and I's friendship and our business relationship, all like blossomed from doing this show. So this is all we want to do is create good products and good ideas for operators, and maybe everybody can make a few bucks, and every year we can get together and sit in a fucking hot tub like
the whole time.
The whole time, exactly.
So like let's turn the table and let's turn the mic and let's talk about like TripShock. You guys, what are you trying to sell me now, man? What's happening? Featured placement, fucking come on. What I know you brought Rachel here to do the hard selling because I mean you're a terrible salesman. Great guy, terrible salesman. So what's going on? Where we're getting shocked by trips?
Well, so we're not selling anything different than we've been selling all along. I think that we're just kind of narrowing down our focus in terms of who we want to continue to serve as the company grows, and we kind of had a similar experience, I think, that you guys have had as we've seen this water sports community grow and all the friendships and all these amazing things that have been happening over the last 2 years. And, alongside that, we've been growing a lot as a company and for the first time really expanding beyond water sports. And water sports is it's how we grew up as a company. 95% of our business has been water sports up until this point. And, but yet we were adding all these different activities from all these different destinations that were so foreign to us. And we had to kind of take a step back and ask where we were headed. And so as we looked around and saw this, amazing water sports community and all of these things that were happening, it became really clear that we are a water sports company. And it's what we've been doing for 15 years. The majority of our partners operate on the water. And it just made sense for us to kind of rein things in and focus on, not only what we're best at, but the community that we love. And so we're excited that before the end of the year, we're going to be launching a new redesigned website that is more focused on water sports activities and a new logo, which some of you who were at Arrival got to see and at the forum. We're really excited about that. We're done trying to be all things to all people. And
where's the Napster cat's gone? Like, man, I miss Napster cat.
It's sad. It's sad. Yeah.
Like, can we talk a little bit about the old logo, the cat sitting in the lounge chair?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but Greg's a cat guy.
Yeah,
so I think is that how it all started?
It was based off of my pet cat. That
Rachel, don't put him out like that. He's a cat guy. Oh,
it's okay.
I'm not afraid to say I'm a cat. I'm a dog guy too.
I mean, the logo of the company was a cat. I think it's out of the bag.
Yeah, because things get cat guys are a little soft. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like fucking. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like you're always like, is he a murderer? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like him and his cat in an apartment. But you got kids and a family. Here's the thing, though. I can't talk shit because
You've got like 14 cats. You're almost a psycho.
I've got so many fucking
You're a cat hoarder.
Yeah. That would be my wife.
On that show. They're like, he started with 14 cats and now he's got 500.
Yeah. So listen, I want the whole world to know that if you guys go deep on Greg Fisher, you're going to find some like really old school first year business logo. Like he had this like cartoon cat and it's sitting in like a lounge chair. I mean, and then boom, and then becomes the Catster, I will call it. Like, because the first time I always saw it, it reminded me of the Napster logo.
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
That's okay.
You could have cleared that up in that video you did with like the Chamber of Commerce where you got your suit on and shit.
Oh yeah.
Let the cat out of the bag on that one. I found that one, dude. You look like you're like 15, man, and I love it. So, any real fans, just go down. Feel free.
Thanks for bringing up the.
I can't find it. It's gone off the internet.
No, it still exists. That video with me. There's the few times you'll see me in a full suit. I thought that was probably supposed to act, but
I mean that's cool. Your dad let you borrow it. I mean.
I go from wearing a suit to flip-flops and a t-shirt at arrival, so I feel like I'm going places.
Not even a t-shirt, bro. Like, can we talk about your fucking polo and board shorts, man? Like, it was like all business from the waist up, party from the waist down.
So you can be in a hot tub, so you can do business in a hot tub.
That's how at any given time I'm ready.
Easy transition.
I mean, that was definitely like, man,
you guys should have really been a bigger sponsor of like the pool party.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, next arrival we'll do that.
I think for the next conference, you guys really should save the money. I would save the money on the room. Just ask if you can rent like 50 chairs around the hot tub and pool. I mean, you're going to have a better conference, and you're going to enjoy it a lot more, Greg.
I sure will. Yeah.
Yeah. So what does this all mean then? So now you guys are just like, so no cheese tours. Cheese tours are off the TripShock offering.
Yeah, no cheese tours. What it means in the short term is we are removing a lot of the land-based destinations that we've added, which was a difficult, decision to make. We worked really hard to add a ton of new products in the past couple years, but again, some of our special sauce is that we have this amazing reservation and customer support team that really knows the areas, where we've been in Northwest Florida. They know it like the back of their hand, down to parking. They can answer detailed questions. And that really helps our operators because it takes some of that burden of customer management off of them. Well, we're having a much more difficult time offering that same level of service in all of these new destinations. And in addition to them being new, they're very different from the destinations that we've been in, which are all beach, family beach destinations. And so we really hope that, by focusing on a couple of key regions, all in the Southeast, for the next, at least year, our team can get up to speed. We can really know the destinations that we're in inside and out, and try to replicate what we've done in Destin in the new destinations that we're in throughout Florida and the Carolinas.
So like, let's do the hard pitch thing. If somebody calls and wants to cancel, like they haven't bought TripFlex and they want to cancel, or they have to cancel, like your customer service team handles all that heavy lifting for the operators, right?
Yeah, our customer service team is really hands-on with, from every stage, because it's not just like dealing with the customer once they booked. It's making sure the customer makes a decision that they're happy